Hello, it's Mike coming at you with another Planet Zoo Spotlight. Thank you for joining me, welcome to the video, and welcome to Zoolia, created by Jagerbombs. Now, Jagerbombs is a creator I'm extremely familiar with. I've spotlighted maybe 2 or 3 of their Planet Coaster parks in the past on this channel, and what's always impressed me about Jagerbombs' work is his attention to detail and realism that he strives for in every creation that he does. So to have his first zoo in the game, I'm really excited to see what we have in store today. So the description reads, "Heyo, welcome to Zoolia. My kids came up with a name. The zoo is finished and this is my last update, finally finished with some detailing. Thanks to crxbb for the information pamphlets. Everything else was made by me, Jagerbombs. Thumbs up if you like." So I am super excited to hop into this zoo. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on the video as it really helps me out. Make sure to leave a comment down below, but let's hop into this amazing little mini zoo, shall we? Right, so here we are in the zoo. We're going to start on a car park once again. Seemingly every single spotlight that I'm doing on Planet Zoo recently has a car park. I shouldn't turn left because that really breaks the realism. There's nothing over there, so don't look left and right, there's nothing there. Very much like last week's spotlight, we've got a bus used as the spawn point for the guests to come out of once again, and we've got a zoo sign over here. I really like how you've done that. It's really simple, really effective, but really gives the zoo some characteristic already. We've got the foliage that the guests have a walk through, and we come down towards the ticket booth. So you walk through these 2 left-hand sides, you've got the bag checkage area. I like how you've got the fence on the side just there, a little bit more realism, and then you've got the closed side over here. How is it you've managed to get the guests coming in this way and out that way? How have you managed to do that? Or is that just happenstance as I've been looking at the park? Because that seems... the guests don't normally do that. You can't normally filter them that way. There's some guests exiting through that way. So yeah, it must just have been the time that I was looking at it and it was just circumstantial. I can hear some stuck guests. Oh, there they are. They're stuck in the shop. Because, of course they are. Come on, Frontier. Please fix the shops. It's so annoying. Every time you open one of your parks and you've got these modular gift shops in them and the guests are all stuck in them. But this shop is really nice. I like all the back shelves that you've got over there. And then you can look through into the staff facilities. And I really like what you've done at the top using the pillars coming across the top of the shop right there. I think that gives a great effect. Yeah, great little shop. I really like that. But let's start heading into the heart of the zoo, shall we? Let's go and find some animals. So we've got this almost like circular structure just coming around the main entranceway. Once again, it's really simple, it's really effective, but it's the type of things that you see in real zoos and real theme parks. It gives such a new aspect and element to this entire area. It looks fantastic. And then you've even got decals on the floor, look, where it's all broken up. We had the Zoolia sign on our right. This looks absolutely fantastic already. There's just so much realism everywhere. It really does feel like a real place. But let's start heading left, shall we? So we've got some more food and drink just to our left-hand side. And we have our first enclosure just over here to the right. Oh no, somebody's lost their balloon. Oh no! Oh well, never mind. Anyway, let's carry on. So we've got a... oh, flamingos! We've got the flamingo enclosure. I love what you've done around the side and how you've got like this shallow pool for them to just wade in. How deep does that go? And does the flooring come all the way across? Or is it just the edges that you've done? No, it is actually terrain on the bottom. That looks absolutely fantastic. So realistic and what you would expect in a zoo and a flamingo enclosure. And I like the fact that that's the first animal that you see as you walk into the zoo. You've chosen a nice, simple, basic animal just as you walk in. And then as we carry on around the path, we've got a cheetah enclosure. So you walk around on this bridge and then loop down into the cheetahs. I really like what you've done along the back wall, using that wall decal just coming along the back wall there as a bit of extra decoration. Almost like that depth perception, making it look bigger than what it is. That's what she said. And yeah, it just looks absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry. Oh, sometimes, honestly, I just can't help myself. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's carry on. Stop messing about, Matty. Yeah, I absolutely love that cheetah enclosure that you've got right there. And as we walk down this path, the use of foliage that you've got on either side, just everything is just done with so much attention to detail and thinking of that realistic zoo and how it would all come together. You've got all of the fallen leaves on the floor, look. And then the way that you've used the brick texture, but we've got various differing heights coming around. It just all looks so well put together. And I expect nothing less from a creator such as Jagerbombs, who in the past has very often focused on recreations or taking real-life theme parks as sources of inspiration for his previous builds, his rides. And I wonder how much of this zoo is taken from real life inspirations, maybe real life enclosures that you've seen in zoos, but it looks amazing so far. So we've got the backstage area around here. I like how it's segregated away from the main zoo area itself. We've got the staff rooms just to our left hand side, and then as we carry on walking around, I assume this must be, it is, yes, the entrance for the sea lion enclosure. So we're using all of the faux rocks just to build this all up around the left hand side, and I'm assuming as we get into the enclosure itself there'll be a lot more. So let's have a look inside here, shall we? Oh wow, oh, this looks absolutely fantastic. This looks incredible. And again, so realistic. You've got all of the decals coming around the side of the glass. So where the water is touching the edge of the glass, you've got like all them dirty marks coming around. And then you've got all of the seating coming all the way around for the education talks. That looks absolutely incredible. It really does. I'm so impressed with this. Let's go and have a look at the actual sea lions themselves, shall we? Let's have a look under the water. Oh, there's loads of them as well. There's so many of them swimming around. Yeah, so impressed with this. We've got all of the faux rocks just coming around the back of the enclosure. You've got all of the palm trees coming around. And you've not overdone it with the foliage. It's done really simply, but really elegantly. And it just works. A little part of me, I wonder if I maybe overdo the foliage a little bit. Yes, it does look nice, I think, when I've overdone the foliage, but sometimes you don't need to go over the top with it, maybe like what I've done in the past with some of my enclosures, as that enclosure was living proof of that. There wasn't too much, it was simple and only basic foliage used, but it looked amazing for it. So we've got the cash machine over there. Let's come out of the sea lion enclosure and let's carry on around. So I really am mindful of missing things in this zoo. Even though it's a small zoo, as you can see, there's a lot of detail packed into such a small zoo. And I just don't want to miss anything. I really don't. So we will have to be careful. I'll try and make sure that I do look at everything. We've got this building here with, once again, more decals on this side of the building, making it look a little bit more run down, a little bit more derelict. We've got an enclosure to our left. We will have a look at that in a moment. I like how you've got the different path textures and how you've separated all of that. But let's have a look inside the restaurant. So all the guests are queuing there. And once again, we've got another really nice interior. And already what is jumping out at me in this zoo is how it's done so simply, so basically, but how it just works. Sometimes you can use the word simple and basic and you can misinterpret what I'm meaning, thinking it's bad. But this is done in the best possible way. It's not overdone. It's just exactly what it needs to be to make it perfect. It's amazing. So we've got some saltwater crocodiles inside here, again using the decals along the side of the glass. I like the floor of the water just there, using the foliage and the rock, again not overdoing it with them. And let's have a look inside the actual enclosure itself. Can we see one? Yep, there's one just over here, look. Just hiding in the grass, but we can see you. We can see you there. That looks really bizarre because his lower jaw was inside the grass. That looks really strange. And let's carry on around here. And we've got the alligators just right opposite them. So the crocodiles and the alligators housed right next to each other. And the alligators appear to have a lot bigger enclosure than what the crocodiles did. So we'll have a walk down this path. We've got the custom fencing just coming around the top. I really like that detail. I love to see custom fencing rather than the in-game ones used. We've got more education areas. And, oh, it's right opposite the sun bears as well. So there's a lot of different enclosures in this zoo. And the sun bear is just climbing down the pole now. Shall we have a look at him? Is he going to do what like pandas do? Excuse me, people. Get out of my way. No, he's not going to fall, is he? Not like a panda who just, like, falls over everything. I love them cute videos of pandas, ones where you watch them fall off things and then they just get up and brush themselves off and carry on. I'm getting distracted. Yeah, this enclosure looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, great job. I'm so impressed with this zoo so far. So impressed. It's amazing. I knew it was going to be good. When you requested this spotlight, I was looking forward to have a look at this zoo because, of course, looking at your previous work, I knew what you were capable of. So I knew we were in store for something good today. And boy, oh boy, you have certainly not disappointed at all. So we'll carry on down here. So we've got the did you know signs, we had the pamphlets just in front of them. Those would be the ones by crxbb. You've got some amazing stuff on the workshop, crxbb. I've even got some of them myself in Eden Gardens. Again, another creator I am familiar with from the past, coming from Planet Coaster. But we had the crane enclosure just there, very similar to the Flamingo enclosure, once again, really nicely done. And what is this building over here? We have the action centre, so let's enter through here. And we've got all of the exhibits all inside here. I really like the detailing around these. We've got an enclosure just there, so you can look inside the hard shelter. We won't have a look at the exhibits just at the moment. And then we've also got another hard shelter over here. I can't see anything in there. I really like how that hard shelter wraps around the iguana exhibit. We'll have to have a look inside there in a moment and try and see what we can find. We've got some more little leaflets and pamphlets just there. And then another exhibit. Yeah, fantastic interior. Once again, a nice little reptile house. And then it also incorporates some of the hard shelters from the enclosures that you've got. We better make sure that we have a look at these sun bears, hadn't we? Because we hadn't actually had a look inside there properly. Yeah, another really nice enclosure once again. This is literally just copy and paste feedback that I've said throughout the video already. I think it's all going to be relevant throughout the entire video. It's all done to such a high standard. They're all unique. They're all different. Just amazing. And I was wondering, was that the hard shelter that linked into the reptile house? But it's not, is it? If we have a look through this door, which brings us back into the reptile house. So what is the hard shelter here then? What is housed inside here? Oh, the raccoons! Right, we'll actually try and find their enclosure from the outside. And I've only just noticed, look at all of the details on the glass, with all of the smudged decals on the top of the glass. That was a really good effect. It's just these little tiny small details that just bring it all together, that bring that realism and immersion to it all. We've got a Siberian tiger enclosure just over to our right hand side. We'll come back and have a look at that in a moment. I just want to have a look at the raccoon enclosure. So they've got a giant lake to have a swim around in. I have noticed how you've been using a lot of the aquatic waterfalls in this zoo and been using them to really good effect so far. And we've got some parts that look like they're separated off. So pardon our dust, coming summer 2024. Oh, I really like how you've done that. So we've got a building area where there's going to be a future expansion to the zoo. Is that something that you are going to do? As I know the description said that this zoo is finished, but Are you actually planning on maybe coming back and expanding this zoo a little bit more? Because I believe it's only around 30% on the percentage counter, so you really have got so much more room to expand should you wish to. Are you going to be doing that with future DLC packs and then maybe have specific themed areas? You're going to have to let me know on that one. But we've got the Siberian tiger enclosure over here, once again built up really nicely. I like how it steps back up the enclosure, and we've got one of the tigers running around, look, going for some food. Yeah, I love how it kind of steps back over there. And once again, we've got the education seating area. This is fantastic. This is so good. I'm having the time of my life here. I think my only critique is that the zoo is so small. I want to see more. I could easily spend an hour walking around in this zoo, and at no point would I be bored, I don't think. I'd just be absorbing everything. But let's start heading towards the penguin enclosure, which I think may arguably be my favourite enclosure of the entire zoo. This looks absolutely sensational. I love this so much. Even all of the detailing along the bottom with the foliage and the rocks. Again, not overdone. It just works. And the way that you've got all of the faux rocks coming along the back, even down to the seating area and the education area, the way that the roof kind of curves. It would have been so easy to have just done a straight roof there, but no, you've got to make it more difficult for yourself and put them curves in and made it all different angles. It looks absolutely sensational. Yeah, great enclosure. And it's nice to see the penguins in a spotlight as well. Always like to see the penguins. But what have we got up here? So we've got the giraffes. And once again, just using the curved style of enclosure rather than just going for a square enclosure. It curves all the way around. We've got the other side of the tiger enclosure just over here. Can't see any of them over there at the moment. So the tigers have got a lovely big enclosure. We've got the outhouse over here, which is the toilets. And I think this must be a dead end. It is. So... oh, you can see all of the giraffes there, how you can just look down on them. And I imagine they'd actually be able to look over and you could almost pet them kind of thing. And as we come down here, does this bring us towards the end of the zoo? I think it might be. But we've got this big enclosure for the giraffes. We've got the faux rocks and a bit of foliage on the floor. We've got the waterfall in the background and another pond for them once again. And I do think this has come up towards the end of the zoo, which is really disappointing. Is it? It is. Oh no! I don't want it to be the end. Make bigger parks, please. It's no excuse. You've got so much more room to do so much more. You need to come back and keep adding different sections to this zoo. With every new DLC that we get, you just need to keep adding more. But let's have a very quick overview of the zoo to make sure that we haven't missed any of the enclosures. I don't think that we have. I'm so impressed with this. How you've managed to pack so much into such a small zoo. It's absolutely fantastic. I think every single enclosure was done so well. I love the action centre, the reptile house. I like the fact that you had the coming soon area. I think all of the enclosures were done to such a high standard. But the penguins has to be my favourite. I absolutely love that penguin enclosure that you've done that right there. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, great job. So without further ado, let's head to some closing thoughts, shall we? After I finished spotlighting the zoo, I did realise my mistake. I actually missed the lion enclosure. So what I said was the tiger enclosure that came all the way around next to the giraffes. It wasn't, it was actually the lion enclosure, and I'd skipped over this completely. So this is located just behind the penguin enclosure. Well, yeah, another really nice enclosure once again. And as I said throughout the video, this was such an impressive zoo. For a first zoo on the game, I just can't wait to see what you do moving forward. If this is what you are creating as a face park, then what are you going to bring us a year down the line, 2 years down the line? Absolutely incredible. I loved it so much. You're going to have to let me know down below what you all think, but I'm going to be back very soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and see you all very soon. Bye everybody!